now, so I don't forget. There we go. It's recording and open the floodgates. Hello, everybody. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Dr. Nick. All right. So cool. Just giving it a couple more seconds of people come in. Hello, Tina. How are you
Getting a
today?
nice hair. Looks
Oh,
good.
did she dye her hair?
What?
No, it looks really good today.
Who said
Oh
that?
no. Oh no, there
Well,
we go.
Jason,
For whatever
Jason says
reason,
you had
the
nice hair, but Tim was
uh,
asking about dyeing. So you
the
can
You're
you
little
Canadian
small
hunting
camera, it
buddy,
looks a
Tina.
different color. But then when it focused on you, I could see it like it was. And now, never mind, it doesn't look that way. So I don't know why it looks in the small camera, it looks like you dyed it. But whenever it came to the
Like,
big view, it didn't look that way.
like I
Yeah, that
dyed
looks normal.
it
There we
gray or
go. That's
blonde
better.
or what did I dye it?
All right.
You guys, did any of you go to that Pinterest webinar? Sorry to bring up Pinterest, but about the trafficking, the Red Bull story?
Mm-mm.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Just talking about the slave compounds and for pig butchering scams and
Oh, were they like kidnap people to work in like call centers and stuff? Like,
yeah, and
yeah.
a guy that was trapped in one of those reached out to a journalist and he wrote the story
Hmm.
about it. It's the Red Bull story. He went by the name of Red Bull or whatever.
Mm.
Holy Hannah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a pretty common thing. I've heard about that before, of them basically just kidnapping people, chaining them essentially to their desk and making them perform scam calls all day long.
This is
Yeah.
Huntress that did this? That
Yeah, it
hmm,
was just a webinar. They had the guy that escaped and the journalist that wrote about it.
hmm.
It was just a webinar that I attended this morning at 7 a.m. and just like,
It's a
wow.
lot of heavy material for 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was heavy. Couldn't sleep this morning, so I was in my office. So I decided to attend that one, but it was just like, yeah, like you can't get through that without crying. It's just like,
Start your day off with some dark and gloomy news, man.
Is it this
Uh,
from trafficking victim to cybercrime whistleblower?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll have to
Um,
sign up for it.
yeah, it was intense.
Yeah. Maybe they'll send me the recording.
Yeah. I just like I would love our clients to know about this. I would love like we are fighting this every day, all day, and I'm struggling right now thinking about how to talk. Maybe we could talk about this today, but how to talk to clients about um, everything that's going on right now, right? Like AI and the risk and introducing this into our environments. And none of our clients are ready for this. None of them have their data classified or labeled or properly dealt with. You know, you've got 20 years worth of data coming forward from server to server to server to cloud. And you talk about these kinds of things and you talk to them about like my favorite stat, which is if it was measured as a country, it's the third largest economy in the world right now behind China and the US, and how quickly that is going to change to the top economy in the world, right? The amount that's being generated by cybercrime. And then I talk about that with my clients and say, like, it's not just people in their basement hacking you anymore. Like, it's organized crime. It's sophisticated business. And then this side of it, I haven't heard thought about or heard before. Like when you think of the person on the other line that's scamming you, and people take such joy out of like keeping them on the line and screwing with them and stuff, but this person could be somebody chained in a compound working 16, 18, 24-hour shifts and being paid
mhm.
nothing, and it's human trafficking that's put this person in this position, right? And oh, it's not something that I've spent a lot of time thinking about until this morning.
Now
Yeah.
you make me feel bad for messing with them.
Right.
Jeez.
But that was a part of it, Mike. Like how
Hmm.
we think when we get that call, but really, that person might, if you do talk to them for a while or you do make a connection, that might be, I know it's not their job. It's not that they're trying to scam you. They're trapped in a trafficking situation and they're forced to meet these deadlines and meet these profits and meet these, right? Like it's
Mhm.
just like, oh, my full body chills thinking about it, right? It just changes your perception of of the scammers. And yes, there's obviously people above that, those are the ones that we want to treat that way, but these people that are trapped in these compounds that are doing the scamming, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Morning, all.
Morning, okay. So
Good morning.
maybe instead of messing with them, we just need to reply, press 1 if you need help.
There you go.
Yeah, and just the impact of the fact that the silence is what enables it to continue, right? The fear and the silence and and I mean, I always thought of like human trafficking as the sex trade, right? But here it's the cybercrime trade.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. Anyway,
we're very, very privileged to live where we are, and that's something we read about and we hear about, but we don't see and experience. So
yeah. Anyway, I don't want to laugh, but like, anybody got a lighter topic? Sorry to drop that on you all.
Let's keep talking about this one. No, that's really good to know. Yeah. No, well, welcome everybody. This is probably one of the larger office hours I think we've ever had. And I'd like to thank Tina for that, for co-hosting with us. Yeah, we really, for anybody that's new here, we just kind of like to get together and talk about things that are bothering you, any questions you have, stuff that we can help out with, talk about new things that are coming in the platform. And it's more of a technical call than our SASE call. And I think we'll probably end up growing this call here very soon. Kaseya has taken an interest in making sure that other people are aware of this office hours, which I think most of you are probably from before the acquisition, maybe some after. So we really haven't spread the word on this one super loudly. But does anybody have anything they want to talk about?
Quick question.
Of course.
How do I still acquire direct SaaS alerts licenses? Like not through user, but through our original agreement?
You should be able to go through your account manager for that, Enrique.
Yeah.
They should be able to offer you both standalone and K365 user subscription users.
And the same, because I know I get my invoice now from Kaseya one for the 360 for the SaaS alerts direct users. So I just ask them to add to that SKU.
That's correct.
Is that handled through the licenses too, Tim?
In SaaS alerts when they license?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would choose standard whenever he deploys that tenant that's using the standalone licenses.
Yeah, there's two tenants. They were freaking out why were there one MSP and one MSPSA. They said for San Antonio, and I'm like, no, George, for standalone. That's it. There's two instances on there showing.
San Antonio.
But yeah, it turns out with chip totas in January regarding the 365 user being no longer under contract, but over the CQM or whatever that model is, they're saying it's not.
No, SaaS alerts was not part of CMQ whenever we deployed in December.
365 user. Supposedly chip totas that starting in January, billing in February, it would be part of the new billing model.
I haven't got any new announcements on that. The only thing I'm aware of right now is standalone SaaSP, standalone Autotask, and standalone Datto RMM are the only 3 tools that are incorporated in the CMQ right now. I can double check though with leadership to see if any other products or any of our packages have been added to that. I'm not aware of any though, because I would think they would have announced that, but I'll ask.
Okay, yeah, so we signed up a whole bunch of users in January, which now we're going to have to cancel because I definitely don't want to have under contract. And we're bringing in a new customer, but we're going to just have to deploy direct SaaS alerts and take a different route than user.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was handled right here because I know that you can put in your domain and you can select your K365 or user if that has a direct impact on the billing. So
probably should.
I would think so too. I think that would be communicated to the billing department, but just in case anybody else is looking for this under organizations and under edit, and you have your license types. So, but no, that's a good question. Got anything else for us, Enrique, today? Anything exciting
So
happening in
that
your neck of the woods?
customer that we talked about last week,
Mm-hmm.
I sent them an email Monday morning and I told them, hey guys, just FYI, we turned off the protection we installed for our autopsy. As of this weekend, it's been off, and these are all the attacks you guys had over the weekend.
Okay.
If all you guys have all the quotes in your mailbox, if you need to discuss them, please reach out. I got a call within 5 minutes. So
Oh, that's
they signed up, but they signed up to something I sold them that I cannot deliver now with the 365 users. So I'm going to have to rebuild a plan with Avanan and take a different route.
Gotcha.
Ben, we got a question in chat. It says we've integrated SaaS alerts with Sentinel-1 at a client. What are best practices for alerting, reporting, and analyzing alerts from Sentinel-1?
So I'm looking at that now, and I'm only seeing 12 events that are coming out of Sentinel-1 for our system. I don't know if you see the same thing,
I see the
Tim, but
same thing.
basically, yeah, it's not so much the alerting that we're seeing, it's the who's signing in to and the activity that's being performed inside of Sentinel-1. But I think that I think we were looking and talking about expanding that. So I don't believe you're going to see alerts that are going to come in here, if I'm not mistaken. But I will take that to, I think, Adam, and we'll take a look at that.
Right. This is mostly for actions taken within the actual platform itself versus
Correct.
the data being fed from it.
Exactly.
So, so Sean, to answer your question, at least in the interim, we would encourage you to go to Customize Alert Severity, select Sentinel-1 as the app, look at the events that are there, determine if any of those lows need to be increased to critical or medium, vice versa, and then create IOCs around those specific events. For example, if you have someone logging into Sentinel-1 outside of country and you have no techs that are outside of country, that would be something that you would want to set up a rule for to alert you. It is medium by default, of course. But you also have other things in there as well, like disablement, authentication failure, account lockouts, MFA authentication failures, enabling MFA. Definitely feel free to take advantage of any of those within IOCs for those events.
Yeah, we'll bubble up that. I think that is something that I think Adam has discussed as far as adding additional alerts for for EDR products that aren't Datto.
Yeah, that'd be
But
great.
yeah, I'll have to see. I could have swore I'm gonna look into our raw logs, what we're getting from Sentinel, and I'll let you know if it's something maybe we can, if we're already ingesting, we can just add them as mapped events. So yeah, I will let you know.
Great. Thank you.
And it might be a good idea to show off the new rule that we created for suspicious mailbox forwarding rules with all the research that we did last week after the changes that development made in regards to wildcards. Do we want to show that off so everybody can adjust their rules to it?
Yeah, we can. There should be some pushes coming out to the community library, and especially in regards to the Respond community library, we decided to like really audit that pretty heavily. A lot of those rules that were in there were older and no longer applicable. And so we are going to be cleaning that out pretty heavily. And so if you should see some updates to that very soon. But yeah, one of the things that we did run across was I posted in the Discord channel, but some of the suspicious rules that were in this IOC were not triggering the way that we wanted them to with patterns. And we're testing that, and Dev is actually looking at that right now, but we did make some changes to that. So this is the new set of filters that we put in place for that. So we look for, it does work fine, and Tim and I tested these pretty thoroughly the last week. It does work fine for a single character being created, an alphanumeric character or whatever. This one also works for any special characters. Could be a single period, 60 periods, semicolons, whatever. Anything special characters is not alphanumeric. And then we have our normal, where's the message being moved to? So that is the conversation history RSS archive. Archive we see sometimes is legit, so be careful with that one. But and then we have a next one is the rule name changed to a special character. So maybe the threat actor got in there and instead of creating their own rule, they decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and change in this existing one as to not maybe set up any alarm bells. This specific rule is going to be pushed again to the community library. We're also going to make it a respond rule. So like I said, there's some pretty big changes coming to that one, and also all of these rules, which it looks like, yeah. So there's indicators. So this one right here, this library needs to be updated a little bit.
Hey Ben, does that get added to MSA?
Yeah, we're going to be pushing all of these up. A lot of the funny thing, a lot of the new things that we're pushing out to the community library are the things that MSA and KSEM already have. If you ever looked through this community templates, some of them are, oh, that sounds like good in practice, but maybe not so good. It sounds good in theory, but not so good in practice. And like this one right here is one that I targeted. Perfect Data Software changed their name quite a while ago. And there's Huntress has a list of applications that are used illegitimately that are enterprise apps that we wanted to make sure we were also monitoring for. So like we axed this rule, revamped it, and added a whole bunch of new apps. So that will be out soon. I'm also talking with Amanda about really streamlining the process as far as how often rules get added and how quickly they're up there. So that should happen much faster in the future. Yeah, I don't want Discord to be the only source that you get your rules from that are, emerging threats.
Ben, we got a couple asks in the chat. One says, "What about acrylic letters?" I don't believe we tested that. Did you test that by chance?
I did not that no, I don't think so. It would really be a matter of how our database interprets them. If it interprets them as actual characters, it's going to be harder to track. It would still, I think, fall under the pattern matches like a single character, but if it's like a whole bunch of characters, obviously it's going to be harder to nail down. And I have floated this idea, and it kind of got approved to incorporate regex into our filters. So that is something that we're looking at adding probably at sometime this year. The biggest problem with that is regex isn't the most user-friendly language to learn, and so we were worried about having to explain how to use regex. But thankfully, ChatGPT is a thing, and you can easily ask it to help you create one. But we also need to make sure that we sanitize some of the results that are coming in via that method. But with Rocket Cyber 2 being built on top of this platform, we do need something that's a lot more flexible than what we have now. What other questions you got there?
That's in the chat. You actually answered the regex one already as well, so we're
Oh,
good there.
yeah. Beat you to it, James. No, yeah, totally. Very soon. Like I said, I talked to Amanda. I made my case in front of our dev team and her, and they agree that it's something that we should be adding. Because there's a lot of things that, the threat actors do a lot of the same similar things with Microsoft. Threat actors that gain device control may do something a little bit different. We need to have that flexibility to be adaptive to those actions. So, yeah, totally. So yeah, look for these list of these rules are going to be they're going to be fewer of them, but the ones that are going to be in there are going to be ones that we recommend you add and not just sift through and look for ones that potentially might work and potentially might not. So I want to do a little bit more vetting on these. Some
Yeah,
of
and
these
I got a note to test acrylic letters this week too, so we'll test
cool.
those out and see if it triggers anything.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. Yeah, because a lot of these were, in here from like, contests we had in the past, and uh, sometimes even like the verbiage is not the same on these rules as they are and actually in the platform. So it says if we have MSA, do we update this? No, we will update your rules for you, Ronald. Yep. That's one thing that MSA and KSEM, as far as the managed portion, it essentially means you don't have to worry about updating your rules or anything. We push those out, especially the ones that we have high confidence in. Ideally, we're not going to push out a rule that just like completely cripples your system. We do need to, test it and make sure. But once it passes those tests, we'll be pushing those out. KSIM and MSA, they get the same rules. Only difference is KSIM in the future will have Rocket Cyber analysts looking at every single alert that happens, whereas MSA will have automated actions and they'll just kind of alert you and notify you that something happened. And if you have questions about it, you're always welcome to reach out. Some rules are based on authentication failure, like the Axios one, and will block the user. Why would we block any user? That is a great question, Darren. That is an awesome, awesome question. I will tell you why. We hear that pretty frequently. Let me find some authentication failures. Tim, do you know the answer to this question? Do you want to answer it?
I actually don't know, so I'm going to learn from you today.
Cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, that is a very good question. Because that is in the newer Axios rule. Oh, sweet crackers. I may have not wanted to choose 6 months. All right, he's got something they can talk about for 5 minutes. No, it shouldn't take that
Well,
long.
matter of fact, so that way, because I'm sure everybody saw the new date range presets, the one called
Oh, yeah.
last month that actually takes you to the last month, which nobody, at least not in my calls, has preferred. That is being altered to the last 30 days. So that will match the rest of the presets there to where it's last 30 days from current day. We submitted that yesterday. Hopefully they'll have it out very soon, versus it going
Mhm.
back to all of January, for example, which in 99% of cases, most partners aren't going to use. So, yeah, we are adjusting that to be the last 30 days.
You can do this too, right? Just do the relative time.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Everybody
That's
likes the
crazy.
one-click presets, though, Ben.
Yeah, well, not me. I don't like them. I want to specify everything. Just kidding. All right, let's do this. Because it's a little anticlimactic. I'm gonna go ahead and reset up my search and do like the last I'm gonna do the last 30 days. Oh crap. Now I see why you want the button.
Yeah. Yep.
Fine, you sold me. Oh, it doesn't even seem to like that at all. Let's see, set. Okay, there we go. I'm searching for failure and I have found failure.
There we go.
Okay,
Much
there you go.
faster.
Perfect. I know, right? Okay, so there's a couple of different authentication things that happen with Microsoft you guys may be aware of. You have your successful authentication, your failure, and then you have your interrupted. Our system, the way it's presented, the way that Microsoft presents the interrupted to us is a failure. But if you look right here, you'll see this the result detail. This is an expected part of the login flow where the user is asked to remain signed in the browser for the logins. So that's why we add failure in that, because it can actually be a success, but only when it has that extra detail. So when you're looking at the rule, you should see one of the conditions it has to meet under the description details should be this is an expected part of the login flow. So that's why we do it. The pain in the butt, isn't it? But yeah, I've brought that up to our team before, as far as I like, this isn't a failure, but that's the way it is now. I don't even know. I wonder if I think I'm pretty positive that's the way that Microsoft handles that event. So we would have to add some sort of logic to change it from a failure to an interrupted. But yeah. It's funny. I see that Axios event happen around authentication failure all the time. And then you don't see anything until the threat actor jumps in there and starts using that token that they stole. Yeah, that's not to be confused with ones that are like this, just like pretty much just authentication failure. Oh, that's Google. Yeah, you see that it happens all the time.
So I
Cool.
was looking at the rule that we have in our lab, Ben. Can you go look at that rule? And then how would we make that adjustment to that? So it's in the respond rules.
And respond rules. Okay.
And you can just search Axios and it'll pop
Yeah.
up to the top. It'll be that first, it'll be the that bottom one. Or maybe it's
The
that one.
bottom.
Is it that one? It's almost similar. They're both similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So like
this one, yeah. So what I did with this one is it does not contain invalid username and password. So what we may want to do is instead of this, instead of a does not contain, you do a contains. This is a normal work part of the workflow. So that might be a good adjustment for us to make with that rule. Yeah, I'm not
I
opposed to that at all.
just threw it in the chat if you wanted to copy and put it
Yeah,
in there.
exactly. Yeah. So something like this right here should also take care of that. But yeah, I put that in there because I think we typically saw that with authentication failures, but it's always a possibility that something's changed or they've added a text or removed something. So I kind of went for the flip side of that, but yeah, totally doable, and that should cut down any sort of noise that you got. Um, let's see here, and
We got
actually,
the
yeah, and
someone
okay.
asks, is there any sort of communication sent out to us when new rules are added to the product or community, or when there are recommendations to enable certain rules due to a security event currently going on, like a weekly or monthly recap recommendations?
Mike beat me to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to say Discord.
yeah, pretty much. That has been a question that's been asked several times of us, and it's always comes down to, you know, what what do you guys think would be the best way to communicate it? That's one of the reasons we came up with office hours. You know, we could send a newsletter out or something, but I mean, I don't know if you're like me, but you know, when I get newsletters from products, it usually ends up right in my deleted items. I don't even pay attention to it. Uh, Discord is definitely something that has taken off. I think we have close to 900 people in there now, and it's a great way for us to disseminate this information to you. But yeah, it's hard to really do that. Um, yeah, pop-up would be good. That you know we've done that in the past. We've also toyed around with the idea of having essentially what we would call like global rules that come by default enabled, and can you disable them, but or have ones that come out that are rolled out as alert only, and if you want to add action to them, you can. But yeah, it's a tough balance.
Hey Ben, here's a thought. We get
Hmm.
if like we use Blackpoint Cyber, so if we see
Hmm.
stuff going on, or if they see stuff going on, they'll send a email blast. I know what you're saying though about deleted items, but
Yeah.
you know, if we know to look for it, might be something that could be helpful. But I don't know.
No, it's a great idea. I'll have to bubble it up to see what kind of marketing they since Kaseya is owns us, they have this whole marketing thing. We don't have the ability just to blast everything out anymore. But you're right. I mean, I think it would be a great thing to do. I think I don't know, like little like videos or something like that would be good to do to as well. We try to hit everything that we can at once, as much as we can. Um, It says, could you do it within the product then? Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, welcome, Matt. Welcome. Yeah, exactly. Kaseya is making a pretty strong push to let people know about the Discord servers and as well as get this information out through their site and through their community. So it's something else that we can try to use too. But yeah, and just like the big change with this mailbox forwarding that we came into. It was like, how do we let everybody know that now it's changed and you need to update your stuff? So, yeah, always open to suggestions.
I'll take these ideas to product management as well. So we'll see what
Yeah,
they, if there's anything they're willing to do on these, and we'll have an answer by next office hours. So we'll be able to let you guys know if there was a particular idea they honed in on and might be pushing.
Uh, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you. Uh, Darren, to answer your question, he says, can we please revoke sessions from account management? Yeah, I've been barking up that tree for quite a while. Sessions and also reset passwords and everything too. That is something that we're looking into. Tina has helped us with that a little bit, saying, hey, there's things that we can do in other products that we can't do inside of SaaS alerts, and we would like, to be able to do those things. And I agree. I don't want to step on anybody's toes too much, but I do think there's some basic things that we should be able to do, such as a little bit of basic account manipulation within the account management tool, and something with licenses as well. So yeah.
So what is he wanting in there? The expire account logins action
Mhm.
is basically what he wants in account management.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put that on my list to ask him about
Which,
as well.
yeah, it's really weird because you should be able to do that because you can do that through the API. And since, most of the things that you can do in our platform, you can do through our API. That is one of the things you can just trigger off with our API is basically it's a respond action that just works if you send a certain string to one of our endpoints.
Yeah,
And
and
yeah,
it'd also
so
be very convenient to be able to revoke sessions and block sign-in simultaneously from account management. It'll just make life easy, especially when they're doing audits. So a lot
no,
of value
right.
in that for sure.
Right now, our only actions are like delete the user or block it.
Yeah,
For that.
and if they're actively logged in, that block sign-in's great, but only until they log out. So yeah, no, I'll definitely bring that up to PM.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great suggestion. It really is. Um, well, cool. Let's see. Great questions today. Well, hopefully Anthony will be back sooner or later, and I know he's going to miss all the turnout that we've been getting. So we'll have to, when he comes back, we'll have to have a whole bunch of people show up. Because he can tell stories and go on his his little sayings for a lot longer than I have. So, well, Tim, did you have anything you wanted to talk about? Anything you wanted me to show or you want to bring up?
No, the biggest thing was that rule that we were testing, the new time management change with the drop down for the pre-selects. Yes, actually, there is something that I wanted to go over. So I have been very much struggling with this. And every call that I have, I'll share my screen here real quick. Every call that I have basically I've used the verbiage. So down here when it comes to scheduling, um, hackers don't sleep, so why should your rules sleep? Always on is the rule. Like I don't even know why those other two options are there. And I've racked my brain around a scenario in which I could use those other two options outside of testing, because who cares for testing purposes, I guess maybe. But I've been trying to think of a valid actual production reason. I came up with one last week. I've pitched it to two partners, and both of them loved the idea, so we'll bring it up here. Now, is this viable for a 24/7 business? No. But it's viable for definitely businesses that you have that are like Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 9 to 6, or whatever the case may be. And the scenario that I came up with is what employees are logging in odd hours. So, for example, if you have a good majority of your businesses are in 9 to 5, then normally you would not create a rule to tell you when somebody is successfully logging in, because then you would get thousands upon thousands of alerts. That would be very, very frustrating. However, the scenario would be that I would create an IOC for successful authentication, however, specified between midnight and 4 a.m. Now I'm tracking users that are good users, known good users, logging in at very, very odd hours. Why are they doing this? What are they doing? What behavior have I not been catching in the past? Why are you logging in well beyond your working hours? So this is something that both MSPs have told me. Oh, I've had partners ask for this. I didn't realize I could do this. This is a great audit for them to be able to see who's working beyond work hours. So this was the idea I came up for this. Figured I'd share it here. Like I said, I've been racking my brain as to figure out a reason to use these bottom two options, and that was the scenario that I came up with. Where authentication successes again between midnight 4 a.m., midnight 5 a.m. You kind of choose your own time range there, but hopefully that makes sense for everybody and you guys can find some value in that. But that was definitely something that I was like really racking my brain on why these two options were even there to use in the first place. And that's what I came up with. So, yeah.
Can you put that on mine for me, please, and tell me what happens? Can you add that for our managed?
That'll be a bin thing. But then again, so the caveat here though is that we would have to know which businesses are not 24/7, right? If it's all of them, then you can tell us that. But if you have businesses that are 24/7, that might not be, you want to exclude them from that rule. This would only apply to like those Monday through Fridays or even the weekends, as long as they're not working 24/7 basically. So, yeah. But that would be a bin thing because I don't do MSAs.
Let's see. So what time zone does that use? Does it use the time zone you're signing in from? I wonder.
It says, please ensure you set the schedule based on your customer's organization as they might be in different time zones as you. So it's based on customer organ where they're located.
Okay. Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, happy to. I would probably do that with like uh the unknown device, right? Like authentication from an unknown device, right? So that if they're signing in from a known device, that's probably okay. But an unknown one and that time,
Well, it's not more so of catching the bad actors here. It's catching good guys doing bad things that I'm looking for, right? That was my
mm,
idea behind the rule because if I have a business that's running 9 to 5, why in the
hmm
heck is Susan logging in at 1 o'clock in the morning? What is she doing? Why
She's a
is she
workaholic.
logging into her our environment? Like what's going on
He
here? What did
works
she
for
do? What did she
Enrique.
change? Do what?
He
Susan
works for
works for
Enrique.
Enrique.
That's probably
That's,
true.
that's not normal behavior. What's up with you guys?
Some of us sleep, Enrique.
On me. Who sleeps here? Anybody in this call sleep? No.
Well, I go
Well,
I go to sleep.
I
I
sleep
don't
like a
own an
baby.
MSP either though,
You're
so
not an MSP. That's why you sleep.
don't you be telling
nope.
Susan not to work here, Tim. Come on.
Uh,
So
but
yeah, but no,
yes,
this was
Stephen,
again, this
exactly.
was the idea that I came up with. Like I said, so I just figured there was some
So,
value in that. And
quick question on that one, Tim and Ben. Let's say Susan, we limit her to only work regular hours. Don't devices all of a sudden, this might be a myth, not a fact, re-authenticate by themselves, like do a refresh token or something? What happens if it does it at 3 a.m.?
this would be
Yeah.
authenticating successfully into the environment though, so I don't think that should play a role, Ben, should it?
It depends on the thing that's doing the authenticating. I mean, like sometimes like a browser will authenticate and do a sync, and sometimes we see that.
Now, would
So
that be killed there, like in this
it
scenario?
it would depend on the events that you chose. I think I would have to see that. I think those would be like more OAuth, but I'd have to see. Or shell. They could be also shell.
Okay.
hmm So I'd have to examine that one, see kind of how it flows.
And this would most likely be an IOC. I probably would not have this in Respond because I don't intend to take action here. Because again, these are what I would typically consider to be normal people logging in, just doing it at odd hours in which I want to
hmm
investigate. So more likely would be an IOC versus a Respond rule. Unless
Yeah.
you found value in it being a Respond rule, then obviously I would start out with manual first, and then from there start doing actions like kickouts if you wanted to. But that would be, I think it'd be pretty rare that you're going to block somebody from signing in at 1 a.m. in the morning if it's a known good user. So, but that's up to you guys. But that's what it would look like. So,
Cool.
yep. Like I said, I've been racking my brain for months on that because I got tired of just saying the same thing over and over, and which was just never use the other two options. So,
Well, does anybody else have anything to talk about? Show or any questions?
Have you played much with the Events Hub, Ben?
I have not, but I've been shown the Events Hub from by Jason, and that thing is amazing. Did they show you around and everything?
Well, we had a call Amanda and I to enable it or get it up on the panel. I discovered a couple of buggies there, but it
Mm-hmm.
is, and the reason I ask is because I think we need to have a call,
Mm-hmm.
an Events Hub call, because
You and me both.
yes,
I'm all
because
for it.
they're all the more the merrier, because I think the speed of the data is instant, and I created my own, whatever you want to call it, thing. It was the weirdest thing I was doing because you go mapping everything yourself as to what you wanted to map. But there's just so much data. Just think of when you go into Entra and you go into a login for a user, how you have those 4 or 5 tabs. The first tab gives you general information, IP, devices. Go to the next tab, gives you locations. Go to the third tab, gives you heaven knows what. The fourth one's conditional access. So you get all this information of an Events Hub. So now you can really get weird and wacky. I'm trying to simulate or emulate what other tools are doing out there as far as reading emails and accessing different things and trying to see if we can get it from Events Hub.
Yeah, pretty much from what Jason showed me, anything that you can do.
I can do better.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that you could do in Microsoft can be sent to the Event Hub. I mean, and that goes either all the way down to the device level of things. Like there's a like an agent or something I guess you can install, maybe from Intune even, and it can send you like event logs, like
Well, now the mystery we've always had about mobile phones and stuff that Adam would say we don't have the ID.
mhm.
Here we have the name, we have everything.
Yep. And I used to have access to the developer tenant that had that on there, but I don't think I do anymore.
It's giving you enriched data. It's giving you more details.
Oh my goodness, like you have no idea.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
amazing.
ridiculous.
I haven't had time yet, Ben.
You want me to show?
Do you have it on your tenant?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and I wanted to show do you have where you can create your custom events and everything too? Do you have that on your SaaS
Yes,
alerts?
the definition.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, but that was I created one and it was not showing up when you go to do IOCs, but I did create it and we can see that part.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah, if
see.
you're comfortable, if you want, I can stop recording.
No, that's
While he's sharing that real quick, just to answer Dylan's question, yes, Dylan, you can use IOCs and respond. However, we noticed a bug with that last week. We already have a ticket open with development escalation. Hopefully, they'll have that fixed very soon. But yes, you should be able, when you create a respond rule, type out the acronym IOC and actually see your IOC rules. But it's currently bugged right now. Hopefully, we'll have that fixed ASAP. I found that last week alone.
An event. Don't laugh at me because I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was pressured by Amanda.
Well, so this is awesome because like this is exactly what I envisioned the app wizard being, and so this screen right here is you creating the custom mappings, which is what you're going to be doing in the future when you're mapping other applications beyond Microsoft Event Hub.
So it's like there's so much data in there. Let me go back to pulling columns. Did I already forget what we saw last week?
And also, just so you guys know, when I say anything in Microsoft and Entra, we mean literally anything. Like anybody signing into a virtual machine inside of your Azure environment, that can be sent to an event hub, which can be sent to us in real time. So, like the sky is literally the limit when it comes to the Microsoft stuff. So just something to keep in mind that, and this is what a lot of like other solutions do that are very similar to us, like the ones that are bigger ones, like was it what's it called, like Splunk or something like that? Is it one of the big guys?
Splunk.
Yeah, exactly. They do Event Hub. They don't reach out to the Microsoft Graph API because of the speed limit and all the endpoints that we have to manually establish connection to. They do this.
So this is an ID, Tina, for an authentication I did earlier, and you could see the amount of data. Now you tell me, Ben, because since I'm on managed SaaS alerts, I'm very ignorant as to what we have today and don't have. But what are you seeing here that we don't have today on SaaS alerts via the Graph API?
Off the top of my head, the app ID is nice and presented in a good place. We have geographical location coming from Microsoft, which isn't bad. Conditional access policies, we don't get that information. That's also amazing, and that gives you detail that we don't have in the platform right now.
But is
So
this based on your P level, Enrique? Do you have P2 on these tenants or E5?
I do have P2. This is my tenant. I do have P2, but
Yeah.
this would be in P1 as well, because
Okay.
this is coming from that. When you go to Entra, you go to a user and you go to see their login logs. There's audit logs and login logs. You go to login logs and then you have the list of all the logins. You select one, it opens the right screen and it has like 4 or 5 tabs.
Yeah.
General logging information, location, something else, and conditional access. So
Yeah.
this is kind of coming from that.
Are you noticing a difference though between that telemetry and the P2 telemetry? Because I'm just curious about that.
P2 is going to add you the risky
Yeah.
and governance stuff. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it would give you.
So are you seeing, can you go compare that for us and let us know? Because we have P2 in our tenant, but not in our client tenants. They're all P1.
Okay.
I'm just
Well, right
curious.
now we're only doing Events Hub for ourselves, not for our
Okay.
customers.
Okay.
So then we would fall under the same, kind of the same scenario.
Okay.
look at all that. That is
Wow.
massive. That's impressive.
And
Yeah,
then
so
what
you
I
got
love
your
is the
conditional
device
access
name.
policies, your risk state, risk types. Yeah, all this stuff is
First factor, second factor, previously satisfied.
yeah. Yeah, Microsoft's been holding out on us as far as the events that we pulled from them.
I think it's just too much stress
I guess so. But
on
yeah,
the
it's
API.
a lot of stuff for it to pull. But yeah, that and basically Mike said, is that live data scrolling in from Microsoft? And we
Yes,
had to respond, yeah, exactly.
it is. It's streaming over.
Mhm.
And I asked Amanda, is once I have my event up, is this live or is it going to be delayed? Once you create your event, could take up to 15 minutes for the event to be ready, but from there on, the data is live.
Yep. Yeah, you can. Yeah, Mike said, Tina, to talk to Amanda if it's something you're interested in.
I've actually
We
already
have.
sent Amanda the notification for you guys, Mike. Told her you guys want in on the beta testing and gave her your information. So hopefully she'll reach out to you, man.
She's already reached out to me. I just haven't
Perfect.
had time. I was traveling a couple weeks ago, and I haven't been able to see straight since then. So
So what
Okay.
I want
Well,
to
I just
go
reminded her
into
again for you.
thank you.
Event Hub is seeing what else can we bring over that we can use to start doing
Yeah.
weird, wacky things, other tools.
Jason wants to make an interface in SaaS so that you can set up these sort of connections, but right
That's
now,
what I told him because it's PowerShell, basically.
yeah. Well, you can do it through the Azure Entra portal, but every single product has it in just a little bit of a different place. So, the authentication is under maybe diagnostics, and then there's the ones for Intune are at a different spot as well. So, there's no real consistency, but most of the different modules in Entra have it. But
So
yeah, the
here, like
mapping is really important too.
user role. So what user role do they
Oh,
have?
damn. Doing optional too. Holy crap.
Oh
This is
yeah,
gonna
no, this is like
explode.
I wasn't that dumb, Amanda. Let me stop here because then I started getting all, oh, let me put the little labels and let me make them nice and let me start putting, can I do HTML code in here and turn it into red and stuff? But it's just
You're
the information.
Yeah.
such a geek, Enrique.
Yeah, this is
Well, I'm trying to get one tool to give me what all the other tools do, but I don't know how to do
No,
it, and Ben does. So
you.
if we can get this in, to me, the device name, because I've been nagging at him, I want to know if it's my mobile phone, if it's my Mac,
Mhm.
if it's this, and now the device names are here. So like I'll tell you, Enrique's Mac Mini RV or whatever you want to call the damn machine, or you could take the ID, you could take the user principal if you want to be more friendly, or do you want to use the actual ID number, which no one understands, the immutable ID correlated. So there's just so much information here. This was my beautiful editing: date, location, caller IP, data properties, service principal, yay or nay, success, device trust, device name. So there's so much damn information you can put in here that then you come and map it. So once you select like user role. Let's see if we can find role here. User ID. So these are all the events that are coming. 105 records.
That's way more than we
Yeah.
get today because I think today it's between 50 and 60, I believe, in most cases. So
Yeah.
And this is coming from the Entra. There's so much stuff you could stream. That's why I want to work with Ben on seeing, okay, let's stream Teams information, let's stream Exchange information, let's stream other things. So then we can try and do IOCs based on some wicked stuff and break my shit. I mean, and make it work.
Mm. Yeah, the biggest thing that we'll have to figure out is, since you can create your own events here and you can put whatever information you want to, how do you create an IOC that looks for a certain standard, right? So it'll
Well,
be a good
once
challenge to have though.
once this event that I call Test Crazy Event, I'm supposed to be able to run it over here.
Yeah, it's a pure definition of a custom event that you literally are
Where
making the event from
event
the data you
hub.
have. Yeah. Crazy,
So
man. Crazy.
here you see I should have test crazy whatever.
If you type in test,
It's not.
okay. So what happens when you just run that as it is?
So we weren't getting any information either.
Okay. All right.
I let Amanda know on Friday so she was working with Jason.
Okay. If you X out the Microsoft Event Hub at the top for the products, and then go under event type, does it show up there when you drop that down? You type in test. There you go. Now hit that, and then run. And so it might be X out the partners. All right, and then try that. Okay, so it must be under a different product.
Was that what it was called?
And
Managed test event?
yeah, but it's the product isn't associated with the event hub. It's you basically have created a custom event, but it's not associated under a product.
Okay, so and is that something we can do here or?
I don't know. You've now seen more than I have.
I was about to say you're in the beta, brother.
We are in uncharted territory. No, I
You're
see the product
you're
that
on
says integrated from integration config, so that needs to be fixed. And that, yeah, that's
you're
something
on my hands. We're in trouble here.
you show us how to fix it.
So this is where, can you tell Amanda that? And
Yeah,
Jason?
yeah, I'm sure they're working on it too. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, it's
No, inherited from integration config. So that would be, what would be the integration config? That would probably be Microsoft, I would imagine. But it's
well,
not
isn't it an
showing you.
Event Hub because we're integrating the Event
You
Hub
would think
module?
so, but I mean, they could be future proofing it for other applications. So like this right here, this event definition is going to be the screen that you're going to be using when, say you wanted to integrate with a product we don't support, but they send their information to our endpoint, then you'll be able to map your own and create your own applications.
So yeah, these fields are amazing. And again, this is just streaming. I'm streaming Key Vault and Entra stuff. So now I have to
Yeah.
go stream a whole bunch of other stuff.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just FYI, if anybody's not paying attention in the chat, Sean asked, so the prerequisite is getting the Event Hub set up by Microsoft. So yes, that is a requirement. And also, there's a cost from Microsoft for this. There's no cost for us quite yet. I don't know how we're going to pull that off, simply because the amount of events that can come into our system could be immediately overwhelming. But for right now, the cost is solely from Microsoft. And I think Enrique, he showed us his invoice, and for it was an average
15 cents,
organization.
I
Yeah,
think, for
15
the month of
cents like
January.
for the month. Oh, okay.
But you said you were online with what you pulled on the calculator. But if I'm not
Well,
mistaken, it was
mine
like,
was around like $18 a month, but yours, I think, also included Defender messages, right?
correct. But this was cents, not dollars.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
if
pretty
I'm not
good. My
mistaken. Now there's
calculator, My
there's
calculator said
multiple
like $18 a month.
components to.
Yes.
There's the event hub, then there's the event hub transmitter, and then there's the event hub
Yep.
recompile. There's all these different
Yeah.
components on there.
Yeah. The more you choose to send over to Event Hub, obviously the more that Microsoft's going to nickel and dime you to death. So, if you turn on everything, you would be you get a lot of information, but just get a pretty high bill. But another good thing about this is that so they, like I said, they are sending the data to us. So as soon as it exists in their API, it's sent over to us, or even
Oh no,
probably
yeah,
maybe even before then.
$18. Let me share that
Okay.
screen. Yeah, you were right. So you see,
Just
that
don't
wouldn't be
share your bank statement.